Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to this live stream. I'm just checking if I'm live. Yes, I am live, and I think everything is okay. Okay, this is the first time I'm using StreamYard. So therefore, I have a few things that I'm trying out in this stream. Earlier, I used to use OBS. This is the first edition of taking callers. So it's an open debate if you want to join, if you want to talk to me about certain things, if you want to discuss certain things, please come right ahead. You will see a comment pinned in the chat. And you can just click on it and I will add you and we can talk. Vimo, hi Vimo, thank you. Welcome to the yard is what he's saying. I'm so far liking it. It's a bit expensive though, so I'm a little worried about that. But ठीक है. Let's give it a shot for a month and see how it goes. Hello, Tigbanshu. How are you doing? So the agenda for today is to just discuss current affairs and politics. So if anything that you are reading or anything that is bothering you, any news item or something that you want to discuss, we can do that. So yeah, come right ahead. But till then, I wanted to sort of. I just read a news that Twitter is starting its bot purge, and I'm very excited about that. I've been losing followers, and this is the first time I'm okay with like losing followers, and I'm actually damn excited because it's been a while since these botty people have plagued the whole platform, and I hope it cleans it. Hasrit starting its what? Bot purge is what I was saying. Hasrat, the Twitter is starting its bot purge. I can highlight comments also. Hey, nice. I like this interface so far. But yeah, if you want to talk, come over. We can talk. This is thank you Vimo for inspiring me to do this because Vimo does these live streams which where he takes callers. I've been trying to figure out how to do it with OBS, but I guess StreamYard is the best sort of platform to do that at this moment. So I'm just doing that. Okay, another thing I wanted to sort of highlight. Just a second, let me try this. Does this work? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so Parliament is starting, guys, on the 7th of December. And till people come and they want to talk, I can just give you some tips and tricks on how to follow Parliament because why not? Um, your take on who is going to win Gujarat elections? Hmm. Sujan, I'm okay. I don't make predictions. A because I'm on not on the ground, and also when I was on the ground, my predictions were wrong. Not that I was publicly expressing my predictions, but it's very hard to predict these things. But the people I'm speaking to, like the journalists who are actually on the ground, they're saying BJP. But I don't know what will happen. Um Apparently AAP is strong in some seats, tribal and Surat area seats, from what I understand. But other than that, I think BJP is stronger. Congress का पता नहीं. I was watching Lallan Top. Lallan Top is doing some great coverage of that. Saurabh, always my favorite. He's been talking a lot about the Gujarat elections and he's covering it. There's a 3 hour long podcast that he did also, which I think is great. What do you have to say about Ravish Kumar and his resignation from NDTV? Oh, so this was expected. So I did an episode with Krishna Kaushik on Explain Like I'm 10. That's my podcast on IBM. We did it back in September or August, as far as I remember. He had said this that in November you will see some movement, and very likely that Ravish Kumar would resign then, and that is exactly what happened. he has been following this whole saga for 10 years now. So if you want, you can go and check out that podcast. He gives a great explanation of how the whole thing panned out, in a very explain like I'm 10 way. um but other than that, I feel like I have mixed feelings about it, because also I'm a big advocate of digital media and internet based journalism in general. So any news, anything that happens that basically reduces the importance of TV news, I am actually for it. So I know it sounds brutal, but realistically speaking, TV still has a lot of influence around matlab the viewership, and obviously they are a part of the conversation. Now, I was thinking about this. I had a few conversations with some TV journalists also about this. I mean, they say, and Krishna also said this, that TV has a disproportionately large number of viewership still. Internet pay, people don't really watch news, but they do watch a lot of videos, etc., on YouTube. The advantage TV has, though, is that they are on TV and also they are on YouTube, because they all post their stuff on YouTube, so they get like double viewership either way. But people who are on digital media on YouTube, just YouTube, they just have that one avenue to sort of put out their stuff. So I feel like Ravish Kumar's audience will suffer a little bit there, but the exciting thing is that Ravish Kumar coming on YouTube and doing journalism would be great for all of us, who are these middling tiny people who um, essentially don't really matter. So it'll be exciting to see where that goes, to be honest. I'm excited to see what he does on his YouTube. He's already put up some videos, and I think he put up one more, like his goodbye video. So that was nice. Vimo is saying, get Ravish as a guest on one of your podcasts. I'm trying. I genuinely am, but I'm guessing he's very busy right now. Also, I think he needs a break, which well deserved. He also said that he will take a little bit of a break from just news in general. So let's hope uh, we'll see something on that front. But I'm trying. Pavneet, hello, kaise ho? I'm great, sir. Do you think AAP and Congress are going to form an alliance to form government? You never know, sir. So, John, don't, I can't put it beyond possibility. I feel like it is a possibility. Uh, Again, I can't really say. Because think about it this way, right? Aam Aadmi Party might take over some of the Congress seats, but Congress is still strong, and they still are projecting at least that they are confident about where they are. So who knows? Like de-seating BJP in Gujarat for both of those parties is important. So for the greater good, they will always say we are doing it for the greater good. So that might be a thing. Oh, someone was here, but then they left. I think Aziz had joined, but he left. Okay, so just to the people who are joining, I have pinned a comment here. If you want to join and talk, please do use this link, and I will add you to the stream. Okay, there is. You are right. TV's loss will be a huge gain for the digital space. So digital space and TV, again, I'm very conflicted about this, but of course, as the internet in general, the spread of the internet and use of the internet grows, as smartphones get cheaper, which we have seen over the past years, more people are of course consuming content on TV, which is great. Or sorry, on digital media, which is great. uh, how many of them are watching news is the question, though. I mean, there are so many more things to watch on the internet, that I would think that even fewer people watch news on the internet than they do on TV. That's just my estimation and guess, but yeah, I'm not so sure where the news space goes on that front. Uh, Subscription based news might be the way to go, though. Mm, I'm not now. I'm also like thinking of hybrid models of ad plus subscription, which Netflix is now doing. Maybe that might work out. So who knows? Okay, let me just show you what I was going to do. Oh, Vimo is here! Yay! Hello, Vimo.
Hey,
Hey, you're my first caller. Hello.
that's why I called. I wanted to be the first in this historical on this historical day. Like in
Yes.
the years to come, people will like if on episode 100 of this show you do a look back at all our episodes, you'll come back to this moment and say he was the first guest.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm doing this was also you. I completely stole your format from
Yeah,
your
so I
channel.
am
So,
integrally associated with this endeavor of yours, and I shall forever
exactly.
be immortalized
Exactly.
in the annals of history. But I wanted to make one point about,
Yeah.
Ravish Kumar
Hmm.
kind of leaving TV and coming to the mobile. I say mobile because YouTube essentially, for the most part, is going to be consumed by people on the mobile. So I
Right.
don't know what kind of stats there are available on this, and you may know more
Hmm.
about this than I do. And if you do, please enlighten me. But
Hmm.
for the most part, when people are consuming news, are they
Hmm.
watching an actual television set or are they watching it on their mobile? And if they are watching it on their
Hmm.
mobile, then the actual experience of looking at Ravish Kumar on a screen and hearing him say things might not change at all for most people. They were doing it on
That's
NDTV
true.
channel. Now they will do
Hmm.
it on Ravish Kumar channel.
For sure, for sure. But my point was, so as I said, right, I don't think Ravish will have enough resources that he used to have with NDTV, because if you looked at Ravish ka report, he had like these bunch of journalists going around and covering things which were a part of his report also. But on YouTube, I'm not sure how much he'll be able to do that. So that will make a big difference, because here, I mean, just if he does a solo, he'll just be monologuing, right? And plus
Hmm.
he'll put up some graphics and whatever on screen. He'll do all of that, sure, but the actual ground reporting which he is known for, uh, that is a big scary thing for me. How much of it will he be able to actually do?
I think there
Does that
is
make
some
sense?
kind of precedent in the work of journalists like Ajit Anjum, right? Who have
Hmm.
YouTube channels, but they also have some kind of
Yes.
a bare minimum staff who go out and do reportage. It will be
Yeah.
great to see Ravish out and about, and
Right.
it may also be it may also be a goodwill generating thing where audience can clearly see, yeah, he had the resources of an entire TV channel.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't, and he's still doing shit. So that might
Yeah.
actually work to the advantage of the channel, because as long as like I said, the actual experience of listening or watching him, if it is happening
Hmm.
mostly on the mobile phone, will not change. The only thing will be the awareness that he now does not have the resources available to him that he had in the past.
That's true. That's very true. And also, by the way, did you see? So I was tracking his channel, and I think Sachin has also said this. He now has 1.7 million subscribers. Till yesterday, it was some 600K.
Wait, who tracked
In
this? Sachin?
Sachin
Sachin
said this.
Yadav.
Sachin is saying
Okay.
this. Like I
That
tracked it.
is
I was looking at it yesterday.
that is
Like I've
quite
been
ironic,
following his
because when
channel.
Sachin Tendulkar joined Twitter, this is exactly what happened. His his follower count was increasing as if it was an automated, a number display, something something. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is not surprising, and I hope his channel becomes the biggest there is, because if it does, it will, like the rate at which it is growing, it will quite probably, it has the potential of becoming one of the biggest,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
not the
And plus,
biggest. Yeah.
plus, if you look at it, so like his resignation, what the video he put out is like
Hmm.
4.3 million views already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In a day. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
It's actually nuts.
it's very heartening but also quite saddening, because अरे यार, ये आदमी मोबाइल पे वीडियो बना के मिलियंस ऑफ व्यूज ले रहा है, मैं साला स्ट्रीम यार्ड पे खर्च करके एक महीने में 400 व्यू बना रहा हूँ.
No, but I mean, of course, he has such a big legacy also to essentially back him. Like the love that he gets from his viewers is crazy. Okay, because I have seen him in action. I have
Hmm.
seen him essentially on the ground. So I was covering this protest. Sorry, Vimo. Nishant, I can see you're in the queue. After I'm done with Vimo, I'll get you on. So I was covering, I think it was Not in My Name, the
Hmm.
protest that happened in 2017, 2018. So I was there, and it was crazy. But like, so he came to this one chalk like away from me, and the
Hmm.
news traveled like a wave. Oh, Ravish Kumar aa gaya, Ravish Kumar aa gaya, Ravish Kumar aa gaya. And then when I went there, he was completely mobbed. Like
Yeah.
all the time, he's just mobbed wherever he goes. People are like, sir, मेरा ये problem है, please highlight कर दो. Sir, मेरा ये problem है, please highlight कर दो. People give him letters. I've
Yeah.
seen this happening with politicians where they are giving like letters to them saying कि मेरा ये issue है, please solve कर दो. रविश
Hmm.
कुमार के लिए people give like गट्ठा of research कि मैंने रेलवे स्कैम पे रिसर्च किया है, सर प्लीज आपके शो पे बता देना. It was crazy, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's very heartening also. And in the
Yeah.
video also yesterday he said this, that a lot of people sort of give him the research, help him translate, and the darshak as he calls
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. 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 That's like he
uh
has this.
hmm,
Say, I can't imagine any other journalist like when the great takeover happened a few years ago, where a good number of conscientious journalists left TV journalism to start their own YouTube channel.
yep,
I don't see any of them having this amount of
they
you know
don't.
clout.
Hmm,
I suppose in one way Ravish Kumar
absolutely.
was lucky also to be in NDTV, which allowed him, I mean, which let him do what he wanted for this long. And now, of course, because he's not on sale, he will be
Yeah,
on YouTube. Yeah.
yeah. What did he say? Some speech he was giving in some venue is like, साहब के पास बहुत पैसा है, बस
वैसा
मैं
है
नहीं
पर
हूँ.
मैं नहीं हूँ.
Venue. I was
Such a
like,
badass
legend.
dialogue मारने का time आ गया
Legend.
है. I wonder, the thing that I wonder about is how much was he really like? You've watched Naruto?
I have seen a few. I think I have seen a bit of it, not
अच्छा,
exactly
then you have not
followed
seen
it.
Naruto because Naruto is quite deep. उसमें एक scene है. So there's this character called Rock Lee who's like
Hmm.
fighting, right? But he begins to lose. And
Hmm.
then he seeks his master's permission to drop weights. Apparently, all this while, he had been fighting with really heavy weights tied to his arms and his legs. And
Hmm.
despite that, he was that good. So he
Yeah.
asked permission to drop the weights. And then he becomes like a lightning bolt, right?
Oh,
People can't see him.
interesting.
I am
Yeah.
interested in finding out रविश कुमार के ऊपर कितने weight लगे हुए थे. And now that those weights have dropped, how much of a lightning bolt is he going to be on YouTube?
Yeah. Ravish Kumar uncensored, basically. There is a video on his channel saying Ravish Kumar describing New York in Bhojpuri. That was so fun.
I've seen it.
Like
I've
I
seen
was
it. It's
watching
quite funny. Yeah.
it. um. Okay, I'm going to take
Yeah, yeah,
Nishant
yeah,
now,
yeah.
Vimo,
Yeah,
if you
please
don't
take on the
mind.
next people. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Chalo.
yes.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you so
great being
much.
here and best of luck.
Thanks, man. Bye. Oh,
Bye.
Nishant left. Very random. I mentioned Nishant and he left. So stay.
Okay. I
I'll
was
just
just
take
about to
some
click on the
comments
leave story
only.
button. Yeah.
Uh, Wait. So to the people who are just joining in, there is a link and like up top, you can click on it and you can join. Nishant was here for a bit. When I said I'm getting Nishant, he left. So
He became
yeah, cold
Ashant
feet.
and he
Yeah.
left.
Let's see what the comments are. So Siddharth is saying Ravish Kumar will probably not struggle with resources. The man is already close to 2 million subscribers already, and the monetization of those subscribers, both through ads and memberships, will be more than enough. That's true, actually. YouTube से बहुत
Hmm.
पैसा आएगा.
YouTube, see, it all depends on what kind of resources he requires, right? But I can also imagine people just volunteering to work for him for no pay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also
He has
true.
that much
Yeah,
of goodwill, so people will come and they will do things.
yeah. Like Ravish Kumar is a mentor,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
Like,
Andrew
can you
Tate of
imagine, like,
journalism.
can you imagine a journalism graduate from IIMC or something, work experience mein interned with Ravish Kumar's YouTube channel for 2 months? That has
I
weight.
know.
Yeah,
I know. Like
yeah.
actually, it would be interesting if he actually starts an organization
Hmm.
to do this in an
Hmm,
organized
hmm, hmm.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be fun to see if he does. I'm
By the
not
way,
sure.
odd question. Do you see Ravish Kumar getting hired by, let's say, The Wire or News Laundry?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um, The Wire for sure. I don't think he will want to go. Maybe
Okay.
just an assumption.
Hmm.
I feel like as an independent journalist,
Hmm.
it'll be fascinating if we actually see him start his own news channel, a digital news channel. That will be actually fascinating to see,
Hmm.
and what that would be, because I feel like it will be something like a Khabar Lahariya.
Hmm.
And like he will focus a lot on ground reporting and taking reports from people in the rural areas and highlighting their problems and struggles and whatever.
Hmm.
That would be something nice, if
Hmm.
he actually does it. I mean,
Okay.
for now, I think I'm just happy he's on YouTube.
Okay. Now, see, here's the thing. First of all, Nishant is back, so you should probably take him.
Yeah.
But before he comes, I'll just make one point before I leave,
Hmm.
which is that there have been journalists who started their own small, you know, entities, companies, and then they
Hmm.
partnered with various organizations. So
Hmm.
there was Vinod Dua, who had his own
Hmm.
company, and he partnered with Wire to do a show with
Hmm.
them. And he also
Hmm.
partnered with certain other channels to do a show with them. Maybe Ravish Kumar
Hmm.
can do that. Maybe like we will get multiple iterations of the kind of thing he wants to do on multiple
For sure.
platforms. Yeah,
For sure. Maybe
maybe that.
he'll maybe like do some videos for other platforms and stuff like that.
Maybe,
Maybe he'll
yeah.
do. Yeah, collaborations and etc.
Hmm.
What if he joins Deshbhakt? That would be fun.
I have. I don't know what kind of. Maybe if he wants to flex his comedic muscle, yeah, that might be a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I hope we don't see him only on Deshbhakt, and I hope he
Yeah, of
spreads
course.
out. Yeah.
Ravish
But
Kumar
anyway,
as a stand-up.
yeah, yeah.
That'll be fun.
He'll be a sit-down journalist.
Yeah.
Chalo.
I Nishant is trying to join, I think. Huh. ठीक है.
Yeah.
So
Chalo.
I'll
Bye
see you
bye.
around, Vimo.
Yes. Bye.
Yep. Bye bye. Nishant, you can join again if you want. I am here. I will take you on. I think there was some problem with your connection. That's fine. Um, till then, I'll take some more comments. Sachin is saying that speech was really emotional. I agree. I teared up while watching it. I think he was also getting super emotional and he kept saying कि भावुक होते समय आप भी भावुक हो रहे हैं, मैं भी भावुक हो रहा हूँ, तो उसके समय बात नहीं करना चाहिए, and I shouldn't talk about the NDTV or anybody else. Yeah, he was right. बहुत भावुक हो रहे थे सब लोग. Mm. Sorry, got disconnected. Yeah, sure, join in whenever you can. Uh, what's your general opinion on Wire as a news source? Huh. I was very disappointed with that recent saga of what was it? क्या था वो? क्या किया था उन्होंने? Facebook. Yeah, yeah. The whole Instagram removing, like Amit Malviya having like a special status and removing accounts thing. Uh, that was a bit disappointing. But of course, mistakes happen. Maybe they were a part of an elaborate scam. Anybody can fall for elaborate scams. And then the weird thing is, I had done an interview with the guys who did that same story on Tech Fog. If you remember, there was a Tech Fog story that they also revealed that BJP has this big, like application which lets them do a lot of things, and it's a database of influencers, and they can run trends and campaigns. So I had done an interview with the authors of that piece. After that, the controversial story was taken down, even Tech Fog was taken down, and on News Laundry my interview was also as a result taken down. I had tried my best to probe them into sort of proving whether their estimations are correct, etc. Again, I'm not a tech guy, but I asked some questions. But I mean, now you don't know, right? Other than that, I feel like, of course, Wire has a anti-establishment, bent, which I like, which I think all news organizations should have. So on that front, they are doing a great job. um yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, I do read some pieces from the Wire. They do great explainer stories and etc. also sometimes, so which is good. um There is, okay, so there is, Sachin is asking, are you comfortable sharing why did you leave News Laundry? Yeah, I have spoken about this a bunch of times in different forums. Actually, Vimo's live stream also I've spoken about it. So I was, after the pandemic, it became really, how can I put it? The whole space is very toxic, the news space, and plus, I felt like I had this responsibility to inform people about what is happening in Parliament, etc., which is a big sort of commitment. Um, I just wanted to try new things also. Like pandemic makes you think, right? Like when you're stuck for 2 years, you think where your life is going, what really matters, uh, what to do. So I wanted to try podcasting for a while. I want to create long form content, like long. So I wanted to try streaming. I wanted to do podcasting. So IVM I approached, and they were very happy to take me, and they actually let me do this, which is great, because with News Laundry I was exclusive. I could only do content for them, but IVM is okay with me doing my own things also, and influencery things on Instagram plus here. So I think that's a great thing to do. So I'm actually going to try and create my own videos, edit them myself. I'm still figuring it out. I'm learning DaVinci Recode myself. It's a very difficult task, but I am planning to do some stuff on my own as well, just trying to grow this YouTube channel as well. Been wanting to do that for a while. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, so there is Sujan who has come. Sujan, hello, Sujan.
Hey Meghnad, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can.
So Meghnad, I have a personal question for you first.
Sure, man.
Like, I've been following your videos and all since the News Laundry days. So my first question is like, why did you quit News Laundry and join the IVM? Like,
Yeah.
I follow IVM as well. I love Cyrus Says and all.
Hmm.
But what was the reason behind you? Was it something personal?
So I was just talking to you about just explaining that only, right? Which is I wanted to try some new things, and the main reason was because like I was exclusive with News Laundry, right? I couldn't do anything else
Right,
with other platforms and publications. Now, before I joined News Laundry, I used to write for a lot of other publications also. Like
right.
I was writing for BuzzFeed News, I was writing for Wire, a bunch of places. I was freelancing then. With News Laundry, it was a bit exclusive, but obviously, like they gave me a giant platform also. Like they gave me, like,
Sure.
obviously their whole production and everything helped me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try new things, like podcasting essentially, long form content, as I said. So that's what I'm doing now. And IVM was good enough to have me, so that's great.
It
But other
is,
than
you
that,
mean?
it is, yes, it is. Also, one more thing I must say about my current job is that I'm not only creating my own shows, but I'm helping other people create a lot of non-fiction content also. So I'm getting to do that, like designing podcasts, commissioning podcasts, doing storytelling, all of that. So I'm helping with that as well, which I think is pretty great. Like the kind of shows that I'm getting to work on right now is like really keeping me busy.
Awesome. So can we see
Yeah.
a lot more explainer videos like Sansadvaj and all of that? Like explainer
So
videos?
I am trying to do live streams. So now that you mention it, Parliament is starting on the 7th, right? This
Right.
7th. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do live streams like these. So once a week, I'll do like call-in live streams where we can discuss Parliament with other people, like if they have specific questions. And the other thing will be solo, which will be just an update on what is happening in Parliament, what are the bills, etc. So it will be live for now, but what I'm also trying to then do is maybe do like clips out of that and then put it up somewhere. That would be
Right.
a good beginning. But production on a video, I'm still learning it myself. Like I can't afford to hire video people right now to do it
Hey,
for me.
you can do it
So
yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm learning video editing. I've already learned how to do reel editing. So that's a good news, I guess. I'll do reels on what is happening in parliament, but long form videos I want to do. So I will eventually get there, hopefully.
And about topics, are you really interested in any specific topics regarding current affairs or even previous past
Hmm.
affairs? Any topics that you
Yeah,
are
yeah,
specifically
absolutely.
interested in?
So public policy is something that is my forte, right? Like I mean, following news, the parliament in general, and news
Right.
from parliament, and reading the laws, finding things from it, and explaining it in a simple way. That is what I'm trained in. So that is, of course, one
Okay.
thing. But other than that, just general politics, current affairs, etc. That though I talk about anyway.
Yeah.
Um, I'll try to get more into more theoretical subjects. Like I do want to do, like, say, streams on what does democracy even mean, right?
Right.
uh, or what does your citizenship mean, or
Hmm.
what are rights and duties, some very basic things which I think people should talk about more, and maybe debate also. So that's what I want to do. So that's what these live streams will be mostly about, which is very basic, sort of, not basic but important sort of subjects like those.
And what
But if you
about
have any more suggestions, please.
like uh I am nothing to suggest you, like I'm nobody to suggest you, but one identity I would like you to talk about is
Hmm.
Netaji Subhash.
Who,
Like
sorry?
Netaji Subhash.
Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, he like there are a lot of controversies surrounded with that identity, and I think it is something that we should know, like what actually happened to
Hmm.
him, and like a
That's
nation,
true.
uh, our nation
You
put a
know, another
force.
another thing I was reading was about Shastri.
Oh, right.
You know, same. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
random,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? You know, like
The
it's
The
murky.
Tashkent thing.
Tashkent
Yeah,
files, like Vivek Agnihotri's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
favorite topic.
I
Um,
don't endorse that guy, but okay.
I know, I don't either. But you know, like there are certain things that maybe, like let's do a deep dive on it, sort of a thing, right?
Yeah,
So
we
that
should,
would
we
be
should.
interesting to do. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually a great, a great idea. Maybe like a deep dive on what happened to Netaji. Ooh, with
Yeah, that
people.
will be a good episode for it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, not
Um,
ridiculing anything, but yeah, that's
yeah. No,
something
I
very
don't
important.
intend to ridicule anyone or anything. I just want to like see what we can find. Maybe like do like a live deep dive into it. Like people can send me links. I can also look at it, and we can talk about it in general. That would be fun to
Yeah,
do.
recently I read a
That's a
book.
great idea.
I don't know whether you have read it. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure you have heard about it. The Conundrum by Chandrachud Ghosh and Anuj Dhar.
I
A
haven't.
conundrum.
Just a second. By who is it by?
Anuj Dhar.
Anuj Dhar.
Yeah. The book is called Conundrum, and
Right.
it's like a 900-page book, and it's like it contains details of. I mean, it has facts that
Netaji's
definitely.
life after death.
Yeah, it kind of says it like that, but yeah.
Ooh, is it like a conspiracy theory, like a fiction
No, no,
book?
no. These are full of facts.
Oh,
Full of
ca-
facts.
catastrophic truth about fate of the man who freed India sitting in a dilapidated house in a remote part of India. A
I mean, you heard
74
about
year old. Interesting. I'll take a look at this
you've heard
for
about
sure.
the Gumnami Baba thing, right?
Hmm. Gumnabi Baba?
Yeah, like Netaji came back and he settled in some Uttar Pradesh ka gaon mein.
Oh
You've heard
wow,
this
no,
thing,
I
right?
have no, I have no idea about this, but
That
that's
he was
fun.
alive until 1985 and no one knew. You haven't heard of these things?
No, no, I haven't. To be honest, that
Damn,
sounds fascinating. It's like a
Meghnerd.
nice theory. Nice theory. But I'll do that. Sujan, sorry, I
Read this
have
book.
a few
Please do
other
read this
people.
book.
Oh yeah,
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 sorry.
absolutely. I think the stream idea is great. Let's try that. I'm all for it. I've noted it down. So Yes, let's do that. But yeah, I have to take Aziz, who is waiting, and there
Sure,
are
sure, sure.
two
Let's
more
meet
people.
again.
So
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining, Sujan.
Sure, Meghnad.
Yeah,
See you again.
bye.
Bye bye.
Uh, Hi Aziz, how are you doing?
Hi, Meghnerd. Can you hear me?
Hi, hi. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, so this is not something that I have a question for you, but something that I would like to hear your opinion on. Like I would
Sure.
like to hear your opinion on electoral reforms that are needed in India. Like currently,
Hmm.
if you have seen the Gujarat elections first phase, you must have seen that there's around 60% of voting currently done in the first phase. And I'm also from Gujarat, and I voted recently as well on
Hmm.
1st
Hmm.
December. Do you
Hmm.
think that we need the US type electoral reform where we can have the paper ballot, or probably we can have early voting kind of system which is currently going on in Georgia?
Hmm.
Do you think it's viable, uh, taking into consideration the amount of population that we have in our country, the type of the state of Indian post
Hmm.
currently that we are having? Do you think it's possible, or probably a lot of reforms will take place and a lot of money power will be required?
Um, I genuinely believe that our electoral sort of system right now has evolved over time to just fit the kind of population we have. It is a direct reflection of what kind of people we are. So I did a
Okay.
stream earlier on, say, the election commission. So the reforms that I think should come should be, for now, at least on that front, which is the election commission needs to be more independent, right, to ensure like
Okay.
the free and fair election, at least in the current system. Which I feel like there are many questions to be raised on whether it is happening in a free and fair way, right? So that is one. Second is, maybe, as we go along. So for example, if you're talking about the US type presidential election, that's a system that has evolved over 2 centuries, like
Yeah.
1770s say like abhi tak, right? So I think more than that. So it's a very well tried and tested sort of system which they have evolved. For us it's just 70 years, right? And so we
Yeah.
are pretty young as a democracy in general, and also the diversity is India is nuts. Like it's like language, culture, geographies, and we take our culture super seriously. So the diversity that we find here, it's very difficult to apply the electoral system of another country onto ours.
Yeah.
That is what
Mhm.
I genuinely think. So over a period of time, I think we are evolving our own system in a way.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I would like to ask your opinion about the Gujarat elections. Like, what do you think? The polarization, was it at its best this year, or probably the AAP is giving it a tough fight? So I recently heard one of the interviews from a channel where probably
Hmm.
a journalist was making a very good point over here, that uh, what Aam Aadmi Party is targeting is not
Hmm.
something uh, related to Muslims, or probably appeasing the Muslims, but what they are doing is also a kind of soft Hindu in sorts as well. And
Hmm.
what they are doing, घेराव kind of thing for BJP. Like अगर वो लोग बीजेपी को टारगेट करना चाह रहे हैं, तो दे आर टारगेटिंग दैम ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, कि वो बोल रहे हैं कि 27 साल में आपने क्या किया. दे आर आस्किंग दीज
Hmm.
क्वेश्चंस कि आपके स्कूल देख लो, आपके हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देख लो.
Hmm.
What they are targeting is they are providing their Delhi model, and at the same time they are showing their face that they are also pro Hindus, and not so anti Hindu, anti Muslim, but they are pro Hindus. And
Hmm.
also on the same front, this has brought BJP to their knees as well. Like they need to speak upon things like, we'll provide you good education, we'll provide AC classrooms and something like that. And most of
Hmm.
the things were related to Modi ji के नाम पे वोट हुआ है in sorts, and not over the communalization or probably Hindu Muslim, not that at
Hmm.
not that extent. So it's something that's new in this particular election, and
Hmm.
that is something different from the last election, is what I think.
So one thing is for sure, Aam Aadmi Party as a third factor would be interesting to watch, right? Because till now in Gujarat it was
Hmm.
Congress or BJP, and to be honest, Congress also had a giant vote share there. In
Yeah.
2017, they did gain a lot, and they took a lot of seats from the BJP and managed to get 60, if I'm not wrong. And so उनका काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड था वहां पे. What AAP tries to very carefully and cleverly do is take that vote base to themselves. So I
Yeah.
think, if they are playing it right, if they are basically from the ground, their inputs are correct, etc., they might find
Mhm.
success in that front where they are trying to convert the Congress vote share towards themselves. But the other point then is that, they might just end up cutting each other's votes, and then BJP might gain even more than last time.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
might also be a factor, and that's a very real possibility. Let's not shy away from that.
Yeah. See,
Polarization.
I. Mhm. Yeah,
So
please go on.
sorry, I'm just going through your points. So
Yeah.
polarization, right? You mentioned polarization in Gujarat elections. So polarization wise, I feel like this is like now like a very tried and tested method for BJP. I was covering the Delhi elections, last Delhi elections, same thing, right? Like they come in and they, Shine Bagh and electric shock lagega types statements. Even in
Mhm.
this one, home minister basically goes and says कि हमने दंगाई को सबक सिखाया 2002 में, all of the stuff. So I feel like it's easy for them to do this now. It's like second nature in a way. Like, oh, हमको elections जीतने हैं, तो this is the first thing we go for, which is create an enemy, like a imaginary enemy, as much as many as you can, and then
Mhm.
say that, oh, they are going to come and attack you. Aziz, I wanted to sort of quickly show like a video, if you don't mind, to the people. You just stay.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
there was this, there was this video that I saw by Paresh Rawal, which I wanted to show, which actually kind of sort of encompasses what BJP is all about right now, right? If I can.
Okay.
એટલે તમારે જો ભાઈ ગેસનો બાટલો મોંઘો છે ને તો સસ્તો થઈ જશે, મોંઘવારી ઉપર ગઈ છે તો નીચે આવશે, રોજગાર પણ લોકોને મળશે, પણ આ બધું મળશે, પણ તમારી આજુબાજુ જ્યારે બાંગ્લાદેશીઓને રોહિંગ્યા રહેતા હશે દિલ્હીની જેમ, ત્યારે તમે શું કરશો? આ ગેસના બાટલામાં તમે શું પેલા બંગાળીઓની ફિશ પકાવશો? શું કરશો તમે? એટલે આ વસ્તુ બહુ સમજવાની જરૂર છે. ભાઈ શ્રી કેજરીવાલ, પેલા તો રામમાં શું છે? કોણ રામ? રામનું પેલા તમે પ્રમાણ લાવો, રામનું બર્થ સર્ટિફિકેટ લાવો, રામનું પેન કાર્ડ લાવો. આ બધું કરતા હતા ને પછી એમને કહું કે હું તો ભાઈ અયોધ્યા માટે સ્પેશિયલ ટ્રેનો કાઢવાનો. આ ઢોંગીને તમે ક્યાં પહોંચો?
So यहाँ पे essentially Aziz is one example of what they do, right? Which is, so in Gujarati, what he said is that whatever it is, gas cylinder अगर cheap हो गया, inflation
Yeah,
will
yeah.
go up or
Meghnerd.
down or whatever. Rohingyas, what sorry?
I'm from Gujarat actually, so
Oh, you
I
know, so you
understand it.
will
Yeah,
translate.
yeah.
Tell me better.
तो व्हाट ही इज सेइंग इज के वो वही बोल रहा है कि गुजरात ये लोग बोल रहे हैं कि गैस का बॉटल तो सस्ता हो जाएगा, इन्फ्लेशन अप डाउन चला जाएगा, बट
Hmm.
आपके आसपास वाले जो मुस्लिम्स जो रह रहे हैं लाइक रोहिंग्याज इज टारगेटिंग के उनका कैसे दूर होगा, एंड वो कैसे करेंगे, एंड वो पलटी कैसे मार रहा है, इज व्हाट इज सेइंग
Hmm.
के कैसे पलट रहा है कि स्टार्टिंग में तो उसने बोला कि राम का ये बताओ वो बताओ, एंड नाउ ही इज सेइंग के गणपति का फोटो इस पे नोट्स पे डालो, एंड नाउ हम लोग ट्रेन स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ पोलराइजेशन दे आर डूइंग, एंड वन ऑफ द अभी specifically one of the things that the home minister also said, like हम लोग ने 2002 वाले लोगों को सबक सिखाया
Yeah.
दंगाइयों को
Yeah.
सबक सिखाया, is what he said. And it's
Hmm.
it's very clear, like Gujarat is particularly the testing laboratory for the Hindutva ideology in it, and it all
Hmm.
started with the 2002,
2002.
uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
2002 riots as well.
Hmm.
So it clearly shows that this agenda works for them, and it has worked for them for like past 27 years, I guess.
Absolutely, and I agree because um, that's the thing. That's what I was pointing to earlier, right? Like it's easy to do this, where you
Hmm.
create an imagined enemy, right? Which
Hmm.
is like, so. Just one very simple way to explain this would be like, if you are living in a village, right, and there are like a lot of fights happening within the village, which is like, oh,
Yeah.
inflation hai, price rise hai, oh, mere ko ye nahi milta hai, wo nahi milta hai, and people are complaining about the leader who is
Yeah.
essentially not giving it to them, right? Yeah, rasta toota hai, whatever. Now, the best thing for the leader to do, like for the people, is to fix all of these things. But the other clever
Yeah.
thing for him to do is to say कि बाजू वाला जो village है ना, वो तो हम पे attack करने वाला है. So you better stop fighting now. You better stop fighting because this is a real threat that is coming tomorrow. And therefore, all these other like squabbles will be forgotten, and then they will galvanize themselves into like this militia, and they'll be like, ha, dusre village pe. So before that village attacks, maybe we can go attack. They'll threaten that village. The village will be like, मैंने क्या किया है? The other village, it will be like, what is happening? But then it's convenient,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
For the leader to do this, and I feel that is what happens time and again. History has proven this, like
Yeah.
with a bunch of yeah. It's a very authoritarian sort of tactic as well, I must say.
It's convenient to divert people's
Yeah.
attention to such things rather than
Yeah.
questioning the own government. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's it.
but coming to your point about soft hindutva, right?
Hmm.
I'm actually asking a bunch of people, what is soft hindutva in the first place? I mean, I didn't get one solid definition of it, right?
Hmm.
Does going to mandirs, like for example, Rahul Gandhi right now is going around and doing like a mandir trip while he's on that whatever Bharat Jodo Yatra. Kejriwal also does a bunch of these. I was watching a interview with Rahul Kanwal where of their Aapka candidate, right, the CM candidate,
Yeah,
Ishudhan.
Isudan
He
Garbi.
went
Yeah,
Ishudan Gadbi, yes. He went to a mandir, and there was a giant chunk of the program where he's saying कि नहीं नहीं ये हमारी कुल दैवत है, and I go here every time I get success or loss or whatever. Is that soft hindutva? Like, are you is that what it is now? I'm a little confused,
in
to be honest. Like, what is exactly soft hindutva?
in my opinion, what soft hindutva is, uh, you know, promoting your own Hindutva agenda at the same
Hmm.
time not being an anti-Muslim.
Soft hindutva
Because
is promoting your own religious agenda.
religious agenda, you can say, or the nationalist agenda, but not being an anti-Muslim. By that I mean to say that
Outrightly anti other religions, basically.
anti-other religion. So just an example for that, you must have seen a lot of spokespersons giving such inflammatory, speeches about going anti-Muslims, and the BJP also, the BJP's own spokespersons giving up such anti-Muslim. Uh, anti-Muslim speeches, where we saw it in UP, where one of the Neta was saying in the Mela that don't do business with them and don't work with them and don't do with
Hmm.
these people.
Economic boycott. Hmm.
Yeah. So, but whereas what we have seen with Aam Aadmi Party is that they are not anti-Muslim as sorts. Okay, they will
Hmm.
not speak up on Bilkis Manu. They will not speak up on 2002 riots, but they will not
Hmm.
speak against Muslims as well. They are
So
working.
what I think,
Yeah.
Aziz. I mean, you can disagree with me if I say something which you don't agree with, please, huh? So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, so according to me, according to my understanding, and this is purely anecdotal based on what I saw in my family at least, there are like these loud Hindu people which are extremely like, oh, Hindu khatre mein hai, like proper Hindutva, right? Who are loud
Yeah.
and they say things very loudly. But there is like this giant chunk of population which I know who did not really care about Hindutva, but they do care about Hindu, right? Their religion. They do have faith in their religion. They do have faith in gods, and they do rituals. They enjoy things that come with it, etc. um that chunk of population is very sort of on the fence. What I feel like Hindutva forces are trying to take as many people from here to become loud as they can, and the internet is helping them do this. But this giant chunk of population which goes to a mandir and doesn't really like like want to chest beat about it. Maybe that is the soft Hindutva that you just defined, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, like my parents don't have problems dealing with Muslims. They go to Muslim shops, they have Muslim friends. They like never ever have they like been like, oh ye Muslim hai to main iske sath dhanda nahi karunga, yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they're also like they also like they're believers. They go to mandirs, they make us do like a lot of pujas and all that whenever I go there. Now they are actually just expressing their faith in whatever way they want. So maybe that is the target audience for Aam Aadmi Party at this moment, is what my understanding is.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's correct in your end. So आप अगर किसी और के रिलीजन के लिए हेट्रेड नहीं रख रहे हो एंड एट द सेम टाइम यू आर फॉलोइंग योर ओन रिलीजन very religiously, then that's soft into or probably soft religion on that sense, I guess. कि आप अगर किसी और के religion के लिए you don't spew venom towards any other religion,
Absolutely.
and yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's
And
that's
yeah,
cool with it. Yeah, cool
that's
with
the
it, yeah.
whole idea, right? So I genuinely don't have problems with politicians going to mandirs and doing whatever, to be perfectly honest. Even Muslim politicians going to their religious places, Sikh politicians going to their religious, you do that. I mean, it's your faith, you're
Yeah.
expressing it, you're signaling to your population that you're doing it. But what I have a problem with is to take that into, oh, mera sabse superior religion hai and you guys should not exist at all, and we will do everything to destroy. That is the step that I don't want them to take.
Yeah.
That is the so if you are making any other person suffer, I will never support you. That is essentially
that's true.
the way I look at it, right? Human suffering is a big sort of factor that comes in whenever you look at any sort of political and social issue. Are your words leading to suffering for other human beings? If it is, then that's not cool. That's just not cool, right? And
Yeah.
if you are not doing that, I feel like then ठीक है, आप मतलब like soft हिंदुत्व बोल सकते हो या फिर whatever you want to call it. I'm okay with like a mild form of Hinduism. I feel like, because I see so many people around me who do that. So that's I think okay.
Yeah, I think, and the basis of secularism, kind of is what I feel that
Yeah.
on the if I want to explain the secularism concept in one line,
Sorry,
then
Aziz,
it
I'm
can be
just going to
probably
interrupt you for a second.
yeah.
Just there are some new people joining in, guys. If you want to join this stream, I have pinned a comment on the live chat. There is a link there. You can click on it and you can join it. Aziz here is talking to me about. Of course, you can see it on the screen. I'm taking notes while he talks about these things. So if you want to discuss anything particularly, you can come and join as well. Yeah, go on, Aziz. Sorry.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that if I want to explain the concept of secularism in one sentence, then it can be probably respect every religion, follow your own. Okay,
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
my
Respect
concept.
every
Yeah,
religion. That's the thing. Like, I would say respect the faith that another person has rather than the religion itself. Right?
yeah,
Let's make that distinction, because so I have a faith, you have a faith, people watching this have a faith. It might be completely different, right? I respect
yeah,
your faith, like your faith in whatever entity you believe in, whatever religion or whatever practices you do. I respect that part. I don't necessarily respect the religion itself, because I feel like that can be misused in so many ways by political actors, and which is my biggest fear. So I would respect you as a person as a result, right? I mean, as an individual, your faith, etc. I feel like that is way more important than respecting a particular religion, to be perfectly honest. I don't care if you don't respect me believing in the universe. So I respect your belief in basically the universe or whatever. But I do have faith, so respect that. Give
Yeah.
me that much credit. Yeah.
And I also
Um,
feel that, taking pride in your own religion is also good. Yeah, like you should take pride, but it should not go beyond a point where you kind of start demeaning other religions over there. So that's also a basic point, that you need to, stay within your boundaries, even though even if you are proud of being following your own religion, I guess.
That's true. That's very true, actually. Sorry, I have to take a few comments. Also, you can stay. You can
Yeah,
also
yeah,
answer them if you
definitely.
want. Yeah, yeah. And also, if anybody else wants to join and de-seat Aziz, I think someone has already de-seated you. I'm sorry. I have to take the next caller if that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just taking Anju. Thank you, Aziz. Thank you so much for joining. It was really fun talking to you.
Thank you, Meghnerd. Have a good day.
Yep. Yep. Bye.
So I'm
Hello,
just gonna.
Anju.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi. You want to turn off your video, or you're comfortable being
Yes,
on
please.
video? You can turn it off. Yeah, absolutely. It's fine. Yeah. How are you doing? Wait, sorry. Now you have completely disappeared. It's okay. Rejoin. I'll add you. And please feel free to not be on video. I'm completely fine with that.
Okay. Can you hear me
Hi.
now?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Anju.
Okay. It's morning here. I'm calling from Canada. So
Oh, hello.
I guess it's nighttime. I'm glad I was able to join. Otherwise, I'm always
Yeah.
at work.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, I was listening to the conversation that was going on just before I joined the call.
Yeah.
So उसमें जैसे वो बोल रहे थे ना कि जैसे रिलीजन का बोलते हैं कि इट्स ओके टू बी ना, सॉफ्ट हिंदुत्व की बात हो रही थी। तो जैसे बोल रहे थे कि अपने रिलीजन की रिस्पेक्ट, यानी बाकी की रिस्पेक्ट करो, बट यू जस्ट परस्यू व्हाट यू बिलीव इन, राइट? बट आई फील लाइक आज जो हो रहा है उसके लिए ऐसा नहीं है कि आई मीन shouldn't you be speaking up as well? Like I feel like जो people अपने religion में believe तो करते हैं, but they don't speak up when जैसे किसी मुस्लिम पे आजकल जैसे जो भी हो रहा है, right? और इवन दलित्स पे, विद इन हिंदू कम्युनिटी दलित्स पे होता है, they don't speak up, at least most of the population. That's why it's happening, right? कि politicians can get away with anything, saying they can say anything and they can get away with it. So
So you're saying people who are being exploited don't speak up?
No, people that are being exploited, maybe उनमें से कुछ लोग जो अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं वो बोलते हैं, right? But I feel like जो लोग जैसे जो जिनके पास प्रिविलेज है और वो बोल सकते हैं, यानी कि मान लो कि मैं अगर हिंदू हूँ, मैं अपने रिलीजन में बिलीव करती हूँ, आई डोंट, मैं किसी और रिलीजन को कंडेम नहीं करती, मैं उनके बारे में बुरा नहीं बोलती, बट देन आज के समय में ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें बोलना चाहिए कि उसके साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, वाई दे आर आल्सो सिटीजन्स ऑफ दिस कंट्री, क्योंकि आज अगर हम उन पे नहीं बोलेंगे कल को ये हम पे भी आएगी, राइट? बात जैसे अगर मैं दलित्स की बात भी देखती हूँ कि दलित्स की न्यूज आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट एवरी अदर डे देयर समथिंग गोइंग ऑन, कभी किसी को पानी नहीं पीने दिया, कभी किसी का कुछ हो गया, राइट? राइट, एंड वी जस्ट स्क्रॉल टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज, लाइक इट्स सो इतना कॉमन हो चुका है और इतना आई गेस हमारे माइंड में ये स्ट्राइक भी नहीं करता कि दिस इज रॉन्ग,
like we are desensitized and it is getting normalized.
हाँ, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर I think it's important to speak up in today's time because अब अगर चुप रह के अभी कितना ही गुजारा कर सकते हैं, राइट? कि ठीक है अपने रिलीजन में बिलीव करते हो, रिस्पेक्ट अगर बाकी की कर भी रहे हो, then we should speak up. I feel like अगर हम एज अ सिटीजन सब लोग थोड़ा आवाज उठाएं, maybe the things will improve. Maybe it's like a naive or stupid
No,
thing.
no, I think it's fine. I mean, it's a very legit opinion to have. Please, there are no stupid opinions on this channel. Please say what you want, right? I will not judge. Um, okay, so just going point by point, just based on what you just said, right? Um,
Mhm.
so your point is that there are a majority of people who are there are a bunch of people who are being exploited. Let's say like a minority that is being exploited,
Yeah.
and then there are people within that, very few people within that, which are speaking up, but not a lot of others, right? I feel like that is, you have sort of answered your question in the next part, which is, you said that those with privilege should speak up, because that's important, right? Like within that community, how many people have privilege is a question.
Mhm.
Like for example, let's not take Indian example, let's take like an American example, right? Which is so black people speaking up, right?
Mhm.
Wahan pe, like against atrocities that are happening against them. So would you say that in America, because black people have been traditionally exploited, etc., mm, not all of them are speaking up, or how much percentage of them are speaking up, because there are massive protests going on there, right?
Mhm.
uh, so we have to also question what has changed in that sort of scenario, right?
Mhm.
Because in India, if you look at it, there were protests, right? There were protests like Not in My Name, there were
Mhm.
CA protests. There were when, for example, when the Una lashing happened of the Dalits, there
Mhm.
was a protest after that, where there was a complete boycott of workers, right?
Mhm.
In Gujarat. So there are little protests that keep happening.
So,
Maybe the problem there is that those are not getting correctly highlighted, or
mhm.
the other side is able to completely steamroll it whenever it
Mhm.
happens. Maybe that is
Yeah.
also an issue, right? The
Yeah.
amplification is also an issue.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, I was saying that कि oppressed community या कुछ जो suffer कर रहा है, they
Hmm.
are trying to protest, right? But it's just
Yeah.
that the जो privileged हैं, और say
Hmm.
अभी जैसे Muslims पे जो हो रहा है, Hindus don't speak enough.
That is very important. I think that is
So मेरा
very important what you just
मेरा
said. Yeah.
point ये था कि वो लोग इतना नहीं बोल रहे. अगर हम
Yeah. Yeah.
जैसे
Yeah.
अगर farmers protest देख ले,
Hmm.
I guess most of the people from Punjab, they were
Hmm.
supporting them. I won't
Hmm.
like मैं ये नहीं कहूंगी कि बाकी नहीं कर रहे थे, I guess, but then there
Hmm.
were people who were calling them terrorists. like एक religion tag दे दिया जाता है. And
Hmm.
then अगर हम दिल्ली के देखें, Shaheen Bagh
Hmm.
protest and everything, I don't know how it was at that time, but maybe I don't know if most Hindus were speaking up. इवन अगर मैं सोचूं, मुझे इतना नहीं पता था उसके बारे में, राइट? लेकिन
Hmm.
आई जब फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट हुआ, क्योंकि मैं पंजाब से हूँ, तो मुझे उसके बारे में पता चला. एंड देन आई स्टार्टेड रीडिंग अबाउट ऑल दिस स्टफ, एंड धीरे
Sure.
धीरे जानने लगी कि क्या चल रहा है इंडिया में पॉलिटिक्स में.
Sure.
सो
No, I completely agree with you. So initially, like when Aziz was here, I was explaining one more thing to him, which is essentially, there are loudmouths who are extremely damaging to a conversation. Like whenever, say for example, two of us are talking, like we are having a perfectly civil debate about, let's just have a conversation about who should speak up, what is the problem exactly, we are trying to figure it out. Now if a loudmouth comes in and says nahi Hindu khatre mein hai, nahi, whatever, and then that person gets like a crowd with him. Now that's a problem, right? Then we will shut up, we will not be able to do this conversation. So even if, say for example, you and me are trying to highlight a problem right now, uh, the other person will be able to completely hijack it and steamroll over us. That is, I think, a problem that is happening right now, which is, you're right, the privileged who from the majority community are not speaking up as much as they should, uh, but they're also very scared to do it. राइट, एक तो हमको क्या ही करना है, धंधा करना है, whatever. Like if you look at the गुजरात का coverage, a few of the journalists that I was seeing, they were like, हाँ ये गुजरात में ऐसे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मतलब बस धंधा ही तो करना है, ये पॉलिटिशियंस वगैरह तो आते जाते रहते हैं, you know. So from the majority community, it's just like, हाँ मतलब I just want to live my life, man. Why are you bringing this into my, you know, existence? Right? And I meet so many people who do that, who are just completely quote unquote apolitical.
Yeah,
And
this is interesting, and I was, मैं भी कभी उस point पे थी कि नहीं, मुझे क्या लेना देना है ना, all
yeah.
that. But then at one point you wake up, and I'm hoping कि धीरे धीरे लोग जागे, and then they realize that what's going on around them, कि कभी ना कभी तो, और actually अभी भी affect कर ही रहा है, जो government, अगर वो government जो चाहिए उनको करना वो नहीं कर रही है, तो it's affecting everybody's life. महंगाई बढ़ रही है, कुछ भी हो रहा है, it's affecting everybody in like one way or another, right? और it's interesting कि अगर it's interesting कि आप यहाँ की जैसे बात कर रहे थे ना, black and white people की, और जैसे मैं ऑनलाइन पढ़ती भी हूँ कि होता है ऐसे, like we basis here, हम लोग कहेंगे कि अच्छा भी हमें इनफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं मिल रही, हमें जॉब नहीं मिल रही, या उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा कमेंट किया, वो लोग अच्छा से ट्रीट नहीं करते. देन आई रियली थिंक अबाउट कि हम लोग जब इंडिया में होते हैं, हम लोग कैसे ट्रीट करते हैं अपनी कम्युनिटी के लोगों को, या आसपास किसी और रिलीजन के लोगों को हम लोग कैसे ट्रीट करते हैं. लाइक इट्स वेरी हिपोक्रिटिकल, बट उनको ये लगता है कि यहाँ हमें पूरा हक मिलना चाहिए. एंड दोज आर द सेम पीपल. कभी मैं इंस्टाग्राम पे कुछ पोस्ट करूंगी ना, कुछ ऐसे करके, चाहे दलित कम्युनिटी के बारे में या मुस्लिम के बारे में, मुझे कई बार कमेंट्स आएंगे कि तुमने नहीं, इसमें तुम इसको क्यों ब्लेम कर रही हो एंड ऑल दैट. आई वाज लाइक कि हम लोग वही चीज यहाँ पे एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि हमें मिले, एंड देन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ऑप्रेस कम्युनिटी इन इंडिया, देन आप लोग बोल रहे हो कि नहीं, क्या जरूरत है बोलने की, क्यों अपनी कम्युनिटी को खराब कर रहे हो.
The situation completely flips, right? You're absolutely correct. Like, you know, I know so many people like this. It's not funny that they went away to other countries because of their privilege also, by the way. So like all this engineering bros, all these people, I have so many people, I know so many people who just use their privilege in this society to go to that country. And now they find out that they are actually the underprivileged there. So they're like, oh, rights. But when they come back, it's like, हाँ हमारा तो यहाँ पे privilege है, तो हमको क्या बात करने की जरूरत है. Actually, they do the opposite. They will be like, अरे हमारा privilege हमको maintain करना है, status quo maintain करना है, Brahmin superiority maintain करना है, या whatever करना है. So we will, when they come back or they talk about issues here, there's like this disassociation there, right? Which is very evident. And when you point this out, they get pissed off. Also, you must have seen.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
Well,
No, but
anyway,
Anju, I'm very happy that you are speaking up. That's great. Like you said, you posted some stories.
In जो भी छोटे से तरीके से I can speak up. Like my husband, he's always like, क्यों इतना बोल रही हो and all that, क्यों लोगों को बता रही हो, right, कि तुम्हारे views क्या हैं. And I'm like,
can I say
just
something?
like, हाँ जी.
So this happened with me also. Okay, so when I was in family groups, and ये होता था, right? I mean, I come from a very RSS supporting sort of family in general, right? So they would post like fake news and very toxic stuff used to come on that family group, right? And so I used to counter it sometimes, like which is like, boss, this is not factual, boss, this is super toxic, why are you saying this, etc. And then they would chadao on me. Oh, you are the black sheep of the family. You have always worked with anti-BJP forces. तुम तो नक्सल हो, तुम तो दिल्ली जाके पूरे ये हो गए, दाढ़ी बढ़ा ली, कुछ भी बोलते थे, right? And the thing is, people on the side, like their wives and their daughters, etc., especially women, would DM me, like side में, saying कि, listen, don't mind, ऐसे मत करो, like don't talk about these things. Why are we creating such a toxic environment? So they were shutting me down instead of talking to the person who was literally with them. I was very confused by this. Like, why aren't you telling this guy to shut up? Like he's literally threatening to like do things to me and calling me names, and you're okay with that. You're telling me to shut up. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, family groups are another like Mahabharat episode going on.
Horrifying. But yeah, in our own small way, I keep telling people, like this, like whoever asks me कि, oh, how can I make a change, right? And they're like, अरे मेरे तो बस 10 followers है, मेरे तो बस 15 followers है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? I'm like, 10-15 followers के लिए तो कुछ करो ना. Like, I mean, उनके लिए तो बात करो. I mean, like, it's fine. 10-15 people is a lot. If you put them in a room, it's a crowd.
Yeah, that's right. And जो लोग वो लोग शायद वो न्यूज़ देखें भी नहीं, because मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया नहीं दिखा रहा है, एटलीस्ट अगर हम एक पोस्ट कर ले, गलती से वो हमारी स्टोरी देख भी ले, तो मे बी
Yeah,
उनको शायद कुछ तो दिखेगा, कुछ तो नजर आएगा, मे बी दे विल
yeah,
स्क्रॉल टू द नेक्स्ट वन, बट कभी तो दिमाग में रहेगा कि अच्छा ये हो रहा है, कुछ तो हो रहा है.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh,
Anyway, it was
you know,
nice talking to you.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you so much. I was just about to say there's another person waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anju. Thank you for joining. This is
Yeah.
my first live stream, so hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mine too. This is the first time I
Yeah.
have joined a live
Hey,
stream.
that's great.
So, yeah. Okay, you take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. I'm adding Aman.
Hey,
Hi, Aman.
Meghnerd.
Aman, stay while I read some comments
Sure,
first.
sure.
Is that fine? So there is a bunch of stuff about electoral reforms here. Also, I'll touch upon that later.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a big debate happening within people also.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So wait, the Siddharth is saying on the story that I just told reminds me of how I have to constantly stay in firm touch with my father so that he doesn't slide towards the right. Oh, Siddharth, I
That was the
relate to
biggest
this.
problem.
Relate. Go on, Aman. How are you doing? What do you want to talk about?
So I'm pretty good. So I was going to talk about brainwashing. So I was
Right.
watching this Facebook video about Akash Banerjee's video a while ago,
Mm.
like during COVID second wave, and he was like, "Do mahine ruk jao, sab bhul jayenge log," right? And rest is everyone knows ki when the UP election happened, when Gujarat election happened, everyone forgot what happened in second wave, how many people died, how on the coast of Kanga those dead bodies were lying. Everyone forgot that stuff, right? Like people were literally begging for oxygens and hospital beds. Like basic amenities were missing from like when it comes to medicines and stuff, and people just forgot about those stuff. Similarly, when you talk about these the Kisan Andolan, right? So people forgot about that too. Ki government literally had to step back after a year and a half of protest, but people don't care. Similarly, for CAA, government had to step back, right? After those big protests. But people are, I mean, the way that they have been trying to brainwash people through social medias, through their speeches and stuff, is like very, I don't know how to explain that thing. And
Yeah.
again, like I was just watching this video, like Gujarat coverage of Lalan Talk, and there was one guy who was talking about how the gas cylinders are about 1100 rupees and have to pay that 1100 rupees to buy those gas cylinders, whereas this other guy was defending that thing just like
Yeah.
Paresh Rawal. He was defending. So now it's not a politician here, is a normal voter who is defending it. See how it comes down. So that
Yeah.
guy was saying that 1100 cylinders in Congress you're getting at 400, now you're getting at 1100. Doesn't matter. Right now the land that I used to have was of 40 lakhs. Now it is of 1 crore. So
Yeah.
now my land value has increased. I mean, do you see the like I'm talking to that, like I'm in that person's perspective, do you see the comparison? Like how can you compare between the land value and the gas cylinder value? That doesn't
Absolutely.
make sense, right? So like
Yeah.
people have like people are literally, I don't know how to explain this, but people are literally
So,
not getting that
just
point.
to review your point, essentially you are talking about how people have been brainwashed into believing things that not necessarily affect them when elections come. So they forget everything, essentially all the suffering, all the COVID deaths, all the protests, all the essentially suffering that they had to go through thanks to the government. They forget when it comes to voting, is what you were coming to, right?
Yeah.
I would sort of disagree with that a little bit, if I may. I feel like farmers' protest directly led to the Punjab elections, which we saw, where Aam Aadmi Party got a landslide, right? I feel like there was an effect there,
Yeah.
which happened. So can't really say that
True.
protests don't affect anything. The other point I wanted to make, say, for example, COVID deaths, right? Now, this was a big point that people were raising when I was covering UP elections, like
Yeah.
just last year. that यूपी में literally गंगा में लाशें बह रही है, like they're hiding it and doing whatever, right? And people are dying, suffering, whatever. The interesting thing that I saw in UP though was that nobody was even expecting the government to save them.
Oh yeah.
And which is the most bizarre thing, right? Like there is like this belief that which I saw in the extremely poor, that listen, this is a mahamari, it is like this once in a lifetime event that is happening, which is a catastrophic event which nobody can control, which was true, and the government is doing its best. So it's like हमारे neighborhood में कोई मर गया है, and that's terrible, right? Like I know so many people who lost their lives also, and that was horrifying to see. But at the same time, they were at the end of it, they were like, at least हम बच गए, at least हम बच गए, और जो भी बचाया हमको वो government ने बचाया, because they gave them ration, because they got money in their banks, because they got LPG, because so I was in this village where I was talking to a few people, and this old man said something very profound. So he's like, हाँ तो मोदी जी ने दिया ना, बैंक में पैसा दिया, he gave me like राशन दिया, LPG दिया, अब क्या वो घर पे आके खाना बनाएंगे मेरे लिए? So I was like, well, fair, I guess. Like Yogi ji is best, Modi ji is best, because think about it, right? हमारे expectations ही इतने low है, like especially if you live in a rural area, expectations are so low that if you get like a +1 na, they're like, oh my god, mind blown, मेरे को राशन मिल रहा है, which is, they have no concept of say, that is their fundamental right. They should actually ask the government for it, and that is the government's job to deliver it. But because previous governments were doing corruption, and राशन नहीं मिलता था, या चोरी कर लेते, या कंकड़ मिलता था दाल में, etc., सब बंद हो गया. Like, and now they are getting ration very efficiently, and it's great for them. So then, see what I mean? Like, the default state is now, which what they're getting. Maybe in a few years, when they get used to this service delivery, which is their right, maybe then that is where I think they will start talking about, say, schools, hospitals. That is when COVID deaths will matter. I feel like we weren't there at that point. Delhi mein, if you look at it, or in cities you look at it, it did affect a lot of people. And a lot of privileged people were also suffering. And it did affect their choices. It did affect them on how they view the government. I know a lot of people who sort of changed their minds after COVID. But again, that's a very small, tiny population I'm talking about.
True. Yeah, that's true. Also, like what happened in Morbi, right? The tragedy. So I'm basically from Morbi, though I'm not there right now. So I'm basically from Morbi, right? And the tragedy that happened that day, so like literally there were a great amount of ground reports which clearly stated that for first 2 hours they didn't get the whole resources to come in. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense or not that the resources should come in at that point in time. Like
as in the rescue operation, you mean?
Rescue operation, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so it was mostly the neighborhoods that came in and saved those people, who came into the river and tried saving those people. So at that point, I was talking to my mom on a video call, right? And then one of our neighbor, came in into our house, and they were just talking about it. And she was saying that we went to that pool like right before that tragedy happened, and she was literally blaming that those Muslim people were swinging the pool.
Oh wow!
The Muslim people were doing the like moving the bridge, and they were the one who were literally did this thing.
I'm sorry, the pool is called Jhulto Pool, which literally means a swinging pool.
Yes. And the point is when Jayashuk Patel, it's Jayashuk Patel, right? I don't remember if it's Jayashuk. I don't know if it's Patel or not. Anyways, so that guy, when he inaugurated the pool and did that press conference, if you hear that, he literally said that, please enjoy the swinging, please come into the pool and come into the Chulta pool and stuff, right? So I don't know, like, I mean, he literally said that, and how can you just blame a community? And I don't want to do so. So this ground reports and stuff. So because there is an area nearby which is mainly dominated by Muslim
Hmm.
people who are machwaras, the
Hmm.
fishermen's. It's called Makrani Was, I believe,
Right.
in the nearby, and they came in to sub because they know how to swim and how to how to swim, right? Because those were the fishermen and stuff. So they came in to rescue them at the first hand, and they came in and helped them out, right? But they don't care about that thing. They care that the Muslims were the one who were swinging the bridge. I mean, see that amount
Hmm.
of like the amount of
No,
brainwash.
I was pointing this out earlier also, like in my stream, right?
Mhm.
It's very convenient to do this, where if you have something that people are blaming you for, essentially, then you point to like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
created enemy and then say that अरे उनकी गलती है. uh, because they're
yeah.
always been evil. Like traditionally, historically, 400 साल पहले they did this genocide or whatever, like when they destroyed a palace or whatever. So see, that is the evil that they're carrying forward here, and therefore they collapse this bridge. I mean, it's a very lazy and easy argument to make, but it is also super emotional, right? You can point to all the atrocities committed by minorities and Muslims and whoever you want, right? Pick
Mhm.
any community, Christians, जो भी, right? And then you basically point to them and say कि हाँ उनकी गलती है, because you don't want to accept ना कि तुम्हारे से कोई गलती हुई थी. Now I was reading up on the Morbi disaster as well. Interesting. एक तो Ajanta clocks got the
Yes, yes.
renovation work, which
Like
is
it doesn't make
why
sense at all.
doesn't make sense. Also, the other thing which I saw was I think there was an Indian Express report, I forget
Yes,
what it
yes,
was called,
yes.
which said that
Ah.
they were laying heavier tiles as the base, but
Mhm.
the wires that were holding the pull up, they were still the old wires. So essentially, the load bearing capacity of those wires was completely,
Yes.
like
I
surpassed. And
Mhm.
at the same time, there was no gatekeeping of how many
Yes.
people can go on the bridge.
Mhm.
So Gujarati New Year, people were very happy and
Yeah.
they just rushed on the bridge, and
I
tragic.
think you're talking about that tragedy of a pretty bridge in Indian Express by Jigna Desai, I believe. That was the
I
one you're
think so.
talking
I
about.
think you're right. Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
someone
one.
was talking about it and I took a screenshot of it. So it was just there in my phone when you talked about that report. So I just,
Right, right. Yeah, that's the one.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Aman. I have to
Yep.
actually end this stream in
Yep.
like a few minutes, but I have
So,
Hasrat waiting, so I have to take her as well. Is that fine?
sure.
Yeah. Thank you. He just left. Wow. Hi, Hasrat.
Hello, Meghnerd.
Hi. Oh, you're a he. Hi, Hasrat.
Yeah, it's been a constant fixture, this misgendering me for all my life. No worries.
Yeah.
Okay, so any and all literature on public policy I have read, there's
Hmm.
always this case made for reducing the size of government. Now,
Yeah.
as Aman, I believe, and you
Yep.
were giving anecdotes about your reporting from UP, that now that people expect so little from government, is it
Hmm.
not like the right time for BJP to start reducing the size of the government? I
Hmm.
mean, yes, I remember that they promised to do so the first time as well. So,
Hmm.
like, this is my question: do you think this is a bright time to do this? And second, uh,
Hmm.
do you subscribe to this school that government should actually be less in size?
Hmm. Um, so let me put it this way, right? So I think the size of government depends on the situation and the population you're dealing with. Now let's look at just on a very basic level what the government does right now, right? And on a very basic level, it does welfare, right? I mean, as much as Adarniya says that oh revdi batre whatever, a giant chunk of money that the government spends every year is on welfare schemes, right? Manrega, they spend on ration, they spend on service delivery, very basic service delivery, right? They spend on hospitals, they spend on schools, and that is the major chunk of expenditure for the government. Now roads, transport, etc., is infrastructure, is also one big spending, but they do spend a lot on welfare. Now we are spending so much on welfare right now because a large chunk of our population needs that welfare, right? And because of, say, the pandemic or like economic downturns, etc., the number of people who are dependent on welfare is growing. It's not going down. The pandemic was one big example of how people can be easily pushed back into poverty because of health expenses, because of so many other things. So in this situation, I feel like the government needs to be big, because there is no other answer to it, right? In an ideal scenario where the basic needs of people have been met, where we are a partially developed country, where education is available, cheap education, where welfare is not needed per se, for a giant chunk of population. In that case, I feel like the government can start reducing, because at that point I feel like the expenses of the governments will also change. So the manpower required for delivery will be less. So I do subscribe to the thought of, ideally, a government should aim towards reducing its own size and is like basically extracting itself from the lives of citizens. But at this point of time, I think it's important to have this big government.
Okay, sure. Which is understandable. But
Hmm.
so talking of missed opportunities in a way, the BJP government pre-pandemic as well was trying to get into the family unit as much as they could. So that
Hmm.
you think was a wrong move, like not an ideal
Oh,
move.
absolutely. So, like the government, okay, so when the government is just restricting itself to service delivery and basically delivery, right, for the citizen to make their lives better, that is great. But when they're trying to actually sort of inject themselves into every aspect of a citizen's life, including their faith, including marriage laws, including so many other things like social things, the way they eat, the way they dress, the way they talk, the way language they use, that I feel is ridiculous, right? I feel like that is just not done. That government should not be doing that, which is being so micromanaging that they are essentially controlling how every citizen thinks. That is not the government's job. The government's job is to provide for the citizen, and the citizen should feel that it's their right to get it from the government. Right now the tragedy is that people expect so little from the government, is what you said. The reason why they expect so little from the government is because wo raja aur praja wala situation hai yahan pe, where we still put them in the on this pedestal. We think of them as, like, oh, bahut achhe hai, bahut great hai, they don't do any mistakes, right? The all the mistakes that are done, they're on me. Meri galti hai, are I'm not a great citizen, right? So I think that needs to reverse that mindset.
But
Once
do
it
you think, I'm
reverses,
sorry, uh,
yeah.
do you think it's really that this Praja Raja equation, they don't
Hmm.
think they are good enough citizens? Or because I believe that now the priorities are a little skewed. So
Hmm.
people don't see COVID deaths because they see that saffron color in front of their eyes. They see the Vishal Ram Mandir. They see Muslims
I would
being
say it
beaten,
is
tied to
of
poles,
of the sorry, just
a
interrupting you, of
fixture.
the 10 things that they vote on the basis of, that might be one of them. I wouldn't say that is the only thing they see right now. I would say that there are other considerations also, which are like, again, basic needs are a big consideration. And if the BJP is delivering, they do believe that they should bring them back to power, which has happened in UP. Um, uh, I feel like, yes, there is a giant chunk of population that might be getting blinded by it, but I'm not going to give it too much credit on a personal front. One interview which I really
Okay,
like is by
okay.
Prashant Kishore, where he was asked how much effect Hindutva actually has on the voting patterns, and he says very less. I think he said some 20% voters might be actually voting based on that. So I mean, it's a
Okay.
different way to look at it, right? I mean, of course, it will get highlighted more because it's egregious. Like the suffering that is caused by this kind of rhetoric is disproportionately large, right? So therefore it gets a lot of attention from us, it gets a lot of attention from the media, etc. um, on the ground though, I would say that there are a multitude of factors which people vote based on. um, Hindutva of course might be one of them, I'm not denying that.
Just one more question.
Yeah.
On education, you supported a government getting out of, or
Mm, no. I said that the government should subsidize education. I feel like education
yes?
needs to be severely subsidized, and also it should be
Okay,
practically free, and also the quality needs to also improve, like simultaneously, right? So the government delivery of education should not just be like you're providing education, but the quality of education needs to go up as well. And the government can do that and should do that. That is, I think, one of their biggest jobs. Also healthcare, same thing. Like I think healthcare should be available for cheap. Like right to life should be respected, it is in our constitution. So I'm saying that the government size should be completely dependent on these services that you're delivering, and right now we need a lot of them. So yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
I've only on education reforms. I've only read books
Mhm.
by Karthik Muralidharan. Is
Mm.
is there an author you would recommend I should read?
I can't think of one right now, but next time I do this, I can come back with an answer. Um,
Okay.
who is it?
And
I've
on
read a
public
lot of,
policy.
can I show you something fun? Can you see the screen right now?
Hanji, 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 hanji.
So so this is the Parliament website, right? You can go to committees, okay, and you can go to कहाँ गया? Wait, summary of work में होगा, right? Summary of work, right? If you go to these and you see department relate, उफ, ये खुल क्यों नहीं रहा है? So there are like these bills which are referred to the committee and they give like reports, right? I read a bunch of these actually. Like I read a bunch of reports which are so like if you go to reports, you can see committee name. अभी उसको एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री बोलते हैं ना, या ह्यूमन रिसोर्स बोलते हैं? जॉइंट कमिटी ऑन, कहाँ गया? Why isn't this showing up here? Weird. What we can do is next time we do this,
अम्मा,
now let me find you a
प्लीज
report
वाईफाई
on
बंद कर
the.
दो.
Hello.
Hello. I think I have a weak connection.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No, I was just saying that next
Hello.
time we next time we talk, I will actually
No
find
worries.
you
Like
like
you
some
can
reports from the
either
education
keep it on
ministry.
Mastodon.
Hello. I think Hasrat ka connection is a little.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear
Strange.
you, but in like bits and pieces.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm just saying that next time we talk, I can actually show you some reports by the Department of Education and ministries, like which are done in committees. So then, I think that's a great reading. Maybe you can give that a shot. Is what I was coming to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
public
Aman, I have
policy
to.
and
Sorry,
literacy.
Hasrat. Yeah, policy related
हाँ
literature
जी,
completely.
sure. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hasrat, so I will talk to you. I have to end this stream here. But thank you so much for joining. Please keep coming
हाँ
back.
जी, but thank you, Meghna ji. It's very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye bye. Okay, I'll just do like a roundup of comments and then I will go. So Siddharth is saying if it's just about service delivery, then the election should be between Ambani, Adani, and the Tatas. I have political parties as unnecessary and efficient conduits. Well, I've already suggested that we should do auctions of MLAs, and then we get sponsorship deals on it. That would be fun. Oh, I don't know why this committee report thing has become so weird. Sorry guys, I'm a little bothered by this. I'm going to try and find it properly. Maybe it's the pressure of doing it live, that oh shit, I can't find it, I can't find it, I can't find it, and it's just messing me up a little bit. But I will find you proper reports to look at from the Parliament website. Sorry about that. Millennial Mind is asking, where is the tax collection required for this big government? Our tax collection per capita is too low. You mean direct tax collection? Yes. Indirectly, everybody pays taxes. I mean, they keep bragging about how much GST they have collected and how it's great and how it's growing up and whatever. And excise petrol pe itna tax lagate hai. So no, per capita we are actually collecting a lot of tax. Effective tax rate or some, I was reading somewhere, I'll have to find a source for this. Correct me if I'm not wrong. I think some 37% effective tax rate hai abhi, or for every citizen. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, the amount of money the government gets from us is ridiculous. So please don't fall for this rhetoric of oh, per capita tax collection is low. It's very high. Like everybody pays taxes indirectly on everything, literally everything. So let's not do that. Like direct tax versus indirect tax, वहीं पे हम घूम जाएंगे. And it's one of the favorite rhetoric used by the governments that oh देखो direct tax में तो इतना कम लोग देते. अरे भैया, what is this? You take tax for everything. पेट्रोल पे इतना भर भर के टैक्स देते हैं हम, सब लोग तो पेट्रोल यूज करते हैं ना. तो what are you even talking about? Like एक बिस्किट खरीदा तो तुम लोग टैक्स लेते हो. Ridiculous. Oh, hello, Mansi is here. Hello, Mansi. Hi. Nice to see you. I was just ending the stream, man. You came when I'm ending the stream. Yeah, I think the comments are before you go, who do you support in the World Cup? I'm not following football. But चलो बोलने के लिए जर्मनी वो निकल गया ना, कुछ तो भी हुआ. Someone was telling me or something I was reading. I don't follow football, sorry. But ठीक है, देखते हैं. Maybe so quarter final जब आएंगे ना, then I will probably watch like the final few matches and then I will tell you who I support. Just whoever, I don't know. Very less interest. Germany is out, right? I was right. See, उतना तो मेरे को पता है कि आज ही किसी ने तुम्हें बोला कहीं तो भी कि Germany is out. So clearly I can't support them anymore, but I will support someone else. Any good reports by journalists on political please? Anything that comes to mind, please. Political please matlab I don't understand. Like what specifically kuch pucho, like specifically if there is a report on any subject or something, you can ask. Yeah. I mean, right now I was saying that if you want to follow the elections, Lallan Top is doing a good job of it. News Laundry team is also there, so you can follow that. Yeah. Even if you combine both direct and indirect, we have a billion plus population. It becomes too low. We can compare it Western countries who have less population. I'll have to look that up. How much the per capita tax is right now, indirect plus direct. If you can tell me figures, that would be a better comparison. Right now, I don't have those figures. Effective tax rate भी मुझे देखना पड़ेगा actually एक बार. But my point being that बहुत indirect tax देते हैं हम. So everybody pays taxes. So let's not shame people for not paying direct taxes because everybody pays taxes. Okay, friends, I have to end this. I have to go. But if you like this stream, like it niche and share it with people. If you like this format, please let me know. I'm going to use StreamYard more. I feel like this is way more convenient and it's fun talking to people. I will do more streams. Just to let you know, so 7th is when the parliament is starting. Uh, and I am thinking of doing a stream on Saturday, specifically covering what will happen in parliament and what is in the agenda and what is to come. So I'll probably take callers then as well. That I will do a longish stream, probably a few hours, more than a few hours. We'll take our time. People can come and go on a Saturday evening, is what I'm thinking. Next Saturday evening. So I will do that. And at the same time, I will also show you how to go through like this god awful website while I look up things. I think that would be an interesting exercise to do. Uh, and just tell you how to look at agendas, how to look at bills, how to look at debates. We can read a few debates. There's a lot to do here, just saying. So next Saturday evening, catch you on this stream. Please do join in, and thank you so much for joining. I will see you next time. Bye bye.